XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I'm having nightmares right now.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses, big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bed Bath & Beyond. Nothing says football like scented soap.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Oh, yeah, Monday, it made it. You had Championship Sunday to enjoy. There's a lot of controversy with the referee in that second game that has lived on. The Bills Mafia sent back to Buffalo without a Super Bowl berth. And what's new? Kansas City is playing in the Super Bowl. Welcome in, Mokama Beer Company, Monday. We'll brag on them all day, that's for sure, on XL Primetime. They're up there in beautiful Fernandina, and they got that tap room and their satellite location in Wildlight always ready for you. So we've got plenty to get into, and just a reminder, about 90 minutes away from hearing the first words as the official head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Liam Coen, will be right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM at 3:30. But until then, we got plenty to get into. And fellas, we can go over this championship Sunday. We can go over the games, the stars, the ones that felt that ultimate agony of defeat. Leon, you have been in this situation before. You've been in a Super Bowl. You played in how many championship games did you play in?
I played in 4 and lost 3.
Okay.
So I've been in this situation. I feel Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I felt the misery on the sideline when he dumped his head. I've been there.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
And losing the championship is almost worse than losing the Super Bowl, because at least in the Super Bowl, you get the experience of the Super Bowl the whole week.
You got there.
You get the fanfare.
Yeah.
That's like going to a house, knocking on the door, and not letting in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Imagine being a Bills fan. You lose 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And then you got to deal with the Chiefs.
Well,
a couple decades later.
Exactly. And so their history.
Golly.
Yeah, their history has been written. And it's been written more than once, and it's nothing but pain. And the thing is that I thought they were good enough to win the football game. I thought they were going in there with a better run game, a better plan, and defensively, I thought they were going to be able to do enough. Bottom line is they didn't. They had a chance. It still was another close ball game between these two clubs, which is what we've been treated to.
Yeah.
But Pat Mahomes, whenever he suits up for a playoff game, chances are he's going to win it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, the Bills have no one to blame but themselves. They did everything essentially right. They ran the ball. They were 4-6 as far as fourth downs go. They didn't turn the ball over. They had an opportunity at the end. I'm saying to myself, where when they kicked the field goal, I say, you know what? Josh Allen has got about 4 minutes to go. He's going to go 70 yards. He's going to score a touchdown. He's going to end all this. All this reign of terror that he's experienced by the Chiefs over the last couple of years, where he's 0-3, it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen, but he had the opportunity. That's how you make legacies. That's how your defining moments. You've got to show up at the end. I'm going to ask you this question. If that was the flip side, if that was Patrick Mahomes,
right,
and they were down by 3 and they had 3 minutes to go in the game to ultimately go.
There's no way he loses.
There's no way he loses. That's what I'm saying. He writes the book.
Yeah.
He turns the page chapter by chapter. He writes it. Josh Allen had the opportunity and didn't find himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
he got a little help.
Yeah.
He got a little help.
Oh, absolutely, he got help. Yeah.
Well,
but,
all right. So let's get to the fourth one.
A couple
That's what you're
things.
referring to.
No, I'm talking about the defense. I think is woefully underrated. That's number one, and number 2, definitely the call. The call was horrific.
Right.
There's no other way to look at it.
But you know what Jimmy Johnson told me at one time? He said if you go into the game and you allow the refs,
right,
to determine the factor of the game, then you've lost already.
Lost already, yeah. I agree with that. But it's just, but it doesn't make it any better. It doesn't make you sit back and look at that and say, you literally, like, this is what I don't understand. Like, we all are watching the replay. Mm-hmm. We all see the still.
Yeah.
He's clearly at the yard line.
Yeah.
Which is all he needs to get to is the yard line. He's clearly here. The ball was clearly there.
Yeah.
What are they looking at?
Yeah, and if you're going to acknowledge every single time you see the tush push or the hurt spurt, as I call it, you acknowledge that ball somewhere underneath has crossed the line before you pick up the pile. And they always signal touchdown. Obviously, when you have an above-the-head camera, you can see when it's done. Mm-hmm. But this one, you saw the ball cross the needed line.
Not only that, the center of his back was across the line.
Yeah.
So what are you telling me? The ball was in his right hand, which you couldn't see.
Right.
The ball had to be close to his chest. So guess what? It's across the line, too.
Well, if you watch it, I'm going to tell you, the ref's equilibrium had to be off a little bit because I saw one ref across the line, and as he's walking, he's wobbling to the left. I'm like, what the hell
But he
is wrong
still had
with
it
you?
clearly across.
Yes, absolutely.
And the other guy didn't.
It doesn't make any sense.
The guy that was on the bottom of the screen was walking on the line, and then the other one stepped off of it. And it honestly, for any of these games, and you can go back to when they battled all the way to the end last year, and their kicker missed the kick and did not send it into overtime. It was, again, another great game. But those are the moments where, and we always use this line, don't let the refs be the reason a game went one way or another. And the quote, swallow the whistle at the end of a basketball game, you hear that a lot. Well, in this case, it looked like there was enough there that said he made the line to gain and keep this puppy rolling instead of them denying him on the challenge. Anyway, you guys, I know it had to drive a lot of people crazy, but the Chiefs are the Chiefs. And there's one thing that you can count on, that they're going to be there, and if they are there, they're usually going to succeed. And this team just keeps doing it. And the one thing I will give them credit for, and what Buffalo probably needs to drill down on more than anything else, is that Kansas City struggled to score points this year, and they scored 32. So that's that defensive side of the football that did not do their job. And then the offense, when they needed to control the clock and hold the ball, which they had been able to do up until this point, they weren't able to do it.
Mm-hmm. And the rush lanes, how many opportunities did Patrick Mahomes have to rush outside and get first downs, get 20, 15 yards? Because you're coming inside and there's no looper. And I'm going crazy here because you're bailing this guy out. He wants to stay in the pocket and make the throws. If you give him an opportunity to run, he's going to run. Mm-hmm. And he's going to affect the outcome of the game.
Yeah. All right, so you guys let us know. Let's get back to the other one. The Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagle-led offense, even though he'd been criticized for not making a whole lot of plays offensively with his arm through the air, he was able to come back from the injury this past Sunday. He was able to move. He was able to get out of trouble and throw the football away when he needed to. He definitely did a lot of good things. And, heck, here we are, Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are back in the Super Bowl again. And Saquon Barkley has a hell of a lot to do with it this go-around. All right, so let's do you want to do that real quick? And then
we can do it real quick.
Let's do that real quick, and then we'll start setting up with it. Well, what we're looking forward to later.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I had a quick break from the NFL, real quick, but I feel like this has to be done because we spent an entire show on it, and there was a lot of innuendo, right? Todd Golden has been officially cleared by the UAA. He released a statement that says that the last several months have been a challenge for my family and me while the process dragged on. We asked for the public to allow the process to work through it to its conclusion and not rush to judgment based on allegations. The UAA and so many at the university have been tremendously supportive. My family and I are extremely grateful. Thank you to our fans for your incredible support for our players and our program. It has made a huge difference. I realize it's not the NFL. It's not Super Bowl talk, but we spent a good amount of time on these allegations of improprieties with him and students.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to explain that and be very clear about that. He's been cleared of all charges.
Yeah, and that original story came out.
Allegations, excuse me.
My brother, my Romano, comes up from South Florida, and he was, he loves Gator basketball, and was asking the question yesterday about this. And I'm like, actually, I don't know that anything has come out yet. And boom, here it is. So there you go. All right, so we'll keep going. AFC, NFC championship games from yesterday. The Jaguars introducing Liam Coen. We will carry it on our air, which is 1010XL and 92.5 FM. If it's going to be streamed, you're going to have to stream it on Jaguars.com, so don't forget. That'll come up around 3:30 this afternoon.
Every game is a story.
And the game is tied.
Every play is a moment waiting to happen.
We're going to overtime.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
I'm Chris Campione. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campione Law, Campione Cares isn't just a tagline, it's our commitment to you. Campione Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmaster since '68.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Start your week by talking teal with Tony. Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli. Monday mornings at 7:20 with Dan and Jeff on the drill. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida. Hall of Fame Quality Roofing Solutions on 1010XL.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor, lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
Mike Dempsey here. All right, we're almost a month into the new year. How's that resolution to drop your first 20 to 25 pounds going? Didn't happen? Yeah, well, that's probably because you didn't call Awaken 180 weight loss. I did, and in just 4 weeks, I dropped 23 pounds and was at my goal. But here's the crazy part. It didn't stop there. It was so easy, I kept going. Did it another week. Next thing I know, I'm down 27 pounds. That's right, 27. You know what's wild? I can still see my abs again. I'm not ripped. I don't have a six-pack, but I didn't even think I had those anymore before Awaken 180. It's amazing when you see the results. Feel the results. You just want to keep pushing forward. That's what makes Awaken 180 so different. It's not some medication quick fix where the weight comes off and comes back. It's real results that you can see and feel. Fast results and lasting results. Results that make you want to keep going. To reach a goal you never thought possible. Want the same for you? Then do it. Call the solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss, 844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com today.
Pacifico is brewed for those who let go of the things that don't matter and hold on to the ones that do. That's living life. Anchors up.
Pacifico, found in Baja, imported by surfers. Ask for a Pacifico when you're ready to live life anchors up.
Pacifico is a crisp golden lager, brewed for those who know. It's what's behind a label that matters.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Now, any good lineup needs power. When I needed a power connection for our new Walk-Off Charities baseball park, I found the perfect partner in Ricketts Electric. You're going to love these guys, I'm telling you. The Ricketts family has been providing commercial and residential electric service for years. So call my buddy Zach Ricketts today at 904-320-5960, and you can find them on Facebook as well. You will trust them. That's Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them today at 320-5960.
Ready, aim, inspire at the 7th Annual Mackenzie Noel Wilson Foundation Clay Shoot, Thursday, February 20th at Jack's Clay Target Sports. Hi, I'm Paul Martinez, president of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. We've got you covered. Ammo, carts, clays, delicious food, and amazing prizes. Whether you're a sharpshooter or just in it for fun, this event is for you. Support the important work of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida and Mackenzie's Camp Deep Pond. Sign up at bgcnf.org/events.
10XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Weekend Rewind, brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville, the big boy toy store for big boy toys.
What happened this weekend?
The Eagles run rampant.
Here's Barkley, a little shovel, looking for an edge, gets it, Saquon Barkley, first down, Barkley, oh! Saquon, touchdown!
You cannot kill the Chiefs.
Mahomes still has it to the 5 and in for the touchdown. And his worst pass of the night is on the spike attempt. I tell you what, everything that you saw, you may or may not have expected, but you knew in the back of your mind it was going to happen. Okay, Saquon was going to go off with a big run, and Pat Mahomes was going to be Pat Mahomes. He was going to cape up when he needed to, and that's exactly what he did. Weekend Rewind, those two games, they took up most of your Sunday, and you can definitely find fun Sunday, Saturday, any day of the week that you want to go out and enjoy. Be an on-road or off-road, check out Cycles of Jacksonville. They're right there on Atlantic near Regency, and definitely looking forward to the temperature warming up. It actually got a little warm today.
I got shorts on.
Okay with.
I got shorts on right now. Love it.
I think it's going to be like near 80 on Friday. We're going to be begging for some cold weather again. Yeah. You know how it goes.
Hey, those two games, and we talked about this in the pre-show meeting, and I wanted to bring this up because I think it's getting underplayed. The offenses were awesome, both those teams. The Eagles, obviously. Chiefs when they needed it. The two defenses, my God, the Eagles' defense was suffocating.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs, every time they needed a stop, they got it. Every time.
So a couple things happened. Jaden Daniels, the run that he was on was great. It was a phenomenal start to an NFL career, doing stuff that rookies had never done before. But then he runs into an experienced bunch.
Then he ran into a group that and they can't protect him. And then once you can't protect him,
holy cow!
Then every quarterback looks normal once that happens.
He struggled. I mean, turnovers was a main part of why they lost.
True too.
They turned the ball over.
Those first three turnovers were killers.
and they weren't turnovers. It was those turnovers were done by the defense. I mean, you're talking about a defense that's punching the ball out, knocking the ball out, all that kind of stuff. I mean, Jaden Daniels in that game just didn't have he didn't have enough playmakers.
They were also, those turnovers weren't just giving the Eagles the ball in short fields. It also negated momentum. Like the Commanders were driving every time with those turnovers.
Yeah.
And they were in a groove every time with those turnovers.
De'Ami Brown is making a play, and it's that classic move where you're just trying to get just a couple of extra yards or extend a play, and they popped it out. Austin Eckler coughs up the football when you just did not expect him to do it. And the thing is that you're only going to get so many chances against a good football team. And then their defense gives up that huge play to Saquon right after one of the turnovers. So you just can't have that. And that was the inexperience and obviously the limitations with who they were playing. You can't make mistakes like that.
No, you can't. And the Eagles capitalized on everyone in the turnovers. You're talking about a team that had 7 rushing touchdowns. I mean, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
In a playoff game, a championship game, 7 rushes. And that offensive line, that's the MVP of the game. I mean, listen, Saquon is a dynamic player, absolutely. But that offensive line, if you watched on some of those plays, the interior, the pulls, listen, they essentially, and I watch it, and I take, they essentially ran 5 plays the whole time. They couldn't stop it. And that's when you know you got a good offensive line. We're going to run the same thing. We're going to run toss. We're going to run counters. We're going to run dives and zones.
Yeah.
And you can't stop it. That's all we got. We got 5 plays. You can't stop.
All right, let's make this the 10-10 take because I'm going to follow exactly what you're saying right there.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
Oh, enjoy you some delicious Sonny's, especially with this colder weather. You can head on in, get you a great meal. They want to serve it to you fast after smoking it slow. And don't forget that $10 big deal, $12 pork and rib combo. All you can eat ribs, less than $20. It's all at any one of your area Sonny's. So, I'm getting killed in the prop bet department because of Jalen Hurts, okay? He's driving me nuts because of this play that every single time is an automatic. How about getting somebody else a chance, huh? Well, he did. He got the football finally to A.J. Brown in the end zone because of all the book reading he was doing on the sidelines. They kept really trying to force the ball to A.J. Brown. Dallas Goedert, big-time weapon. They definitely used all of their weapons. Devonta Smith with that great catch on the sidelines. But anyway, that brotherly shove, whatever, however you want to name it. It's driving me crazy. I don't think they're ever going to get it out of the game now that it's so entrenched in the game. But think about this, Leon. They used 2 different centers. Cam Jurgens, they thought was going to be scratched because he was hurt. They kept him active, but they didn't play him in the first half. Landon Dickerson goes in there. Landon Dickerson is hurt. So with 2 hurt centers, they were still able to do what you just described. They were able to knock people off the ball, get big yards when they needed, score when they needed. And this football team here in Duval, they need to fix that position, that interior part of the offensive line, because Philadelphia had 2 injured guys kicking tails.
Just think about what would have happened if both our centers went down.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Just put that mental picture to how horrific.
First off, what centers? That's
what I'm saying. But I'm saying with the Philadelphia Eagles, that's just next man up,
right?
You know, and it's your job and your obligation to study like you're going to play the game.
And Landon Dickerson was a starting guard, and they said, "Hey, pal, we're probably going to need you to step in here and play center." He's like, "Yeah, okay,
no problem,
no problem." And so that's good drafting. We've said it over and over what Howie Roseman has done. He has gone from a Doug Peterson Super Bowl winning football team with a great offensive line, and they've said goodbye to the Jason Peters, the Jason Kelce's. They've said goodbye to some real hosses up front.
It's weird. They just draft guys. Yeah, they just draft guys. That's
I know.
all.
It's just
Isn't that weird how that works?
Yeah.
You draft a guard in the second round. Isn't that weird how that works?
Well, yeah. Look, if you can do it in the second round, I'm all for it. Okay? Cam Jurgens was
or at all, for that matter.
Yeah.
How about that? Or at all for this franchise.
Yeah, period. Cam Jurgens was a guy that we all talked about, and he was a guy that was sitting right there after the first round that you could have gotten. And we can go down the line with those guys.
Right.
Because who do they have? I think Washington had I'm trying to think of I'll think of his name in a minute. Anyway, they've been able to do that. Retire guys, let guys go in free agency, and go and draft
and develop.
And exactly, and plug them in. And if you want to take a page from any of these GMs, and we always talk about what Brad Holmes has done in Detroit, what Les Snead has done in Los Angeles. Howie.
Yeah, well, look what they did with Mekhi Beckham, who was a tackle initially, moved him inside, and now he's perennial All-Pro, going to be a free agent this way, by the way, Jacksonville.
And he was a bust.
Maybe.
Remember?
He was
a bust. He was a full-on bust, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But he move him inside.
He redefined himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's where we are.
So here's another thing about that game, the Eagles game last night. Another overlooked factor, Jalen Hurts, he was 20 of 28, and I bet you 6 of those 8 incompletions were throwaways. He just threw them away.
Yeah, they were. 100%.
He was hitting everything
and
making smart plays. Yeah.
When he was flushed, you're thinking you're going to get to him.
Right.
And you didn't. And
he found a way.
Throw it away.
He found a way to either get back to the line of scrimmage and get down, not get hurt, or throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, it was something else.
Never hurt him. Never.
Right, we're about an hour away from carrying the Liam Coen introductory press conference live right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Don't forget the stream. You'll have to go to Jaguars.com if you're listening on the apps. We will not be able to carry it there, but you're definitely going to hear it on 1010XL and 92.5 FM, a Mokama Beer Company Monday.
This is Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Steve Wonder of the world.
1010XL. 10XL.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it, and we're now set for the final stretch of the road to New Orleans. MyBookie is the one book that has your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we have you covered too. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That'll double your bankroll with a 50% deposit bonus straight from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The big game prop bets are going to be plentiful. Take a hard look at player props and those wacky big game props you select each year from MyBookie. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost each and every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your 50% bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. The road to New Orleans is here for the big game. Bet anything, anytime, and from anywhere with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder?
This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Mia here. You want to know what I'm so over? Resolutions. You want to know what I am into? The revolution hitting the road in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. So what do you say? Join the Arlington Toyota revolution and save big with financing as low as 0% on select new models. Or get up to $8,500 off select new Toyotas. Plus, every new purchase from Arlington comes with their lifetime warranty and 60-day exchange. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or at arlingtontoyota.com.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 27, 1969, 37-year-old Chuck Noll becomes the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, where at the time he was the youngest head coach in the NFL, leading the Steelers to 4 Super Bowl victories.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
2:30 on a Monday, Mocama Beer Company. Every single day they serve delicious coffee. They got the baristas ready to go. And then that tap room serving great craft Tuesday through Sunday. Look for them on South 8th Street, right there in front of Unit Beach as you're entering the historic district, and then their Wildlight location as well. Of course, you can look for them on the shelves at Total and ABC. Just log on, mocama.com, and get some of that great craft. So I know we said there are things that are pretty obvious about what we watched yesterday. Saquon, good. Jalen, like you just described.
Really good.
Yeah, he doesn't make that critical mistake.
Maybe the best game of his career, honestly.
It was a really good game.
He played really, really well.
Defense was balling, and so those are kind of like those are the count-ons. And then you can go to Kansas City. We just talked about it before. Those are the count-ons. You don't ever count Mahomes out. My gosh, man, how many times do I have to be hit over the head by taking points, thinking that
I learned mine 2 years ago when JJ said, "Dude, why do you even bet against Mahomes?"
Right, but
and from that point on, I've never bet against.
But remember, there was a time when he was an underdog, and you're like, "Are y'all fools? Why are you making him an underdog?"
Last year, I think when he was on the road for those couple playoff games.
Yeah, and in this case, and that was our classic line. Like, if you're going to tell me Mahomes is getting points, I'll take that.
What do you think about the Super Bowl spread?
It is.
What did you think it was going to be? I asked Matt that, like, when the matchup was official, you know, the Chiefs seal it with those 2 late first downs. I said out loud,
right?
I think the the Chiefs are going to be like a 4-point favorite.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I feel like a fool when I saw it.
Yeah, and it is funny. I was thinking 3.
It's 1.5.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're looking at that run game, and they're looking at that defense.
Yeah, for the Eagles.
Buffalo's defense just not as big and physical as you need to be, and they did not handle it well. And so you say to yourself, wait a minute, big and physical, that's not a running football team, the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, they will when they need to, but they also will work you to death with what Mahomes does. He is just able to move and manufacture so many different plays from so many, like moving pocket. He can just do a lot of different things.
Well, I mean, whatever he needs to do, he gets done. That's the thing about Patrick Mahomes. Whatever he needs to do, he gets done. Just think about the guys on that caught passes during that game. You're talking about Juju Schuster. Where has he been?
Right.
But he caught D-Hop. D-Hop is on the back end. I mean, he's catching balls. I mean, all these guys, I don't want to call them no names because they're established players.
Hollywood Brown's an up-down guy, too.
Yeah, except for trying to catch the ball out of bounds and keep your feet in. just toe tap. I don't understand that.
And he's basically Worthy, who hasn't been amazing all year, but he's peaking at the perfect time for a rookie receiver.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and there was rarely a Kelsey sighting during the whole game, and still managed to he managed to distribute the ball to people when need be. That's what Patrick Mahomes, when it needs to be done, he finds a way to get it done.
It honestly, and then the other part of this, we were talking about it earlier in our pre-show, that and I've been maintaining this. Pat Mahomes, he's great. We all know that. Andy Reid will go down as one of the greatest coaches we've seen. Mm-hmm. But Steve Spagnuolo may go down as one of the greatest DCs that we have seen in our game because of how he can game plan, how he can diffuse whatever it is that you got lit on that side of the ball. He figures out a way to diffuse it. And he did that to Josh Allen. He made Josh Allen a little more uncomfortable than we're used to seeing him. And Josh Allen was not protecting the football the way you would expect. And he didn't have as much success running the football as he had a year ago against the Kansas City Chiefs. Steve Spagnuolo, a kick butt.
Well, they've also got kick butt players in that defense too.
Yes.
Like they've got he's the best defensive player in the game, and he can play anywhere along the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And he will be disruptive anywhere along the line of scrimmage. They've got 2 corners that can cover in man and a sticky coverage.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Oh yeah, and by the way, they said goodbye to one of those good corners.
Right. And just guess what? I know this is going to shock everybody around here. They just slid in a guy they drafted and developed. That's all. After letting go the guy they also drafted and developed.
Yeah, the other thing, if you just kind of glance at the Eagles and the Commanders, and I was just kind of bouncing back and forth looking at some of the stats on some of these guys, and I know you guys will be able to pick up the theme on this pretty easily, but just take a look at it. Players that I will name where you just basically say SEC.
All right.
Jaden Daniels.
SEC.
Okay. You go down the line. Jordan Davis.
Patrick Mahomes.
Jalen Carter. Yeah. Well, you can't go Mahomes because Mahomes is an exception to the rule. But I'm just talking about.
By the way, how good is Jalen Carter now?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And he's such a physical force.
He's coming up on – he's right behind Chris Jones, by the way.
Yeah.
Right behind him.
And so you can go to that game, you can go to the next game, and you just start seeing SEC talent on top of SEC talent. And so if you are shopping for those groceries, you need to find those guys. At least more often than not, you're going to have a better pool to choose from inside the SEC. And it may not be the case with NIL, maybe taking over a little bit more and more these days, but still a lot of unbelievable talent lives in there.
So Stanford, not good.
Yeah, not so much.
Utah, not good?
Not so much.
No?
No, not so much. All right, speaking of talent, let's say hello to our play it.
Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3. Denny Thompson in the house with us. He knows a little bit about this SEC talent, now SEC to ACC talent in Carson Beck. We brought you some boiled peanuts, by the way.
No, I'm looking at y'all's spread here.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Yeah, we've got
That's a word for
chili.
it.
Homemade by Matt Hayes yesterday.
Caramel popcorn.
The word is
Leon's set up over here, man.
Yeah, this is
Leon's got, not only does he have lunch, he's got a little dessert too and a snack.
Yeah.
This is a buffet here.
Yeah, and when Matt made chili and he brought it in, what did you do, Leon? You went and got the chips.
And put the chili cheese fries.
Fritos.
Fritos.
Fritos are a must.
Only healthy choices here.
Yes, always. It's a model of health.
The chili is very healthy. Very healthy.
Yeah.
But you got boiled peanuts too. You can dig in there and let's talk a little ball with Denny a little earlier than normal because we're going to run that Liam Coen press conference right around 3:30. We'll call it 3:30 sharp because that's probably we'll find out whether Liam's going to start his presser on time and be ready to rock and roll. So let's start there before we get back to some of the championship conversation we were just having, Denny. What did you think of the decision? How things got all sideways and crazy after you were in here a week ago? He pulls his name out. They fire Trent. Name back in. Shad's sending jets to pick him up. What do you think of the hire?
I mean, I think it's – I like the hire. I don't know Liam. I've met him on several occasions. Football guy, through and through, a football dude. But I like the hire. But the way they went about it, I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, it's just a cluster. It was that was hopefully – my hope is that was the embarrassment that this franchise needed, the way that was handled, to go, okay, we got to make this about football.
Right.
And in that sense, the hire makes sense. It's not the sexy hire. It's not the one that everybody wants, but it makes sense because it's a football guy.
Is there? I mean, I like the hire too. Anytime you get bulky up out of here, I'm all for it.
Right.
So, I mean, the only thing that are you a little worried that his inexperience may, as far as him deciding on what coaches to bring in? I mean, are you a little worried that he's so young and not really been in tune to the NFL to where he can make the right hires?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that, of course, is the first time head coach at your city. You don't have anything to look at. I mean, we don't know much about Liam Coen. I mean, we really don't. So, yeah, I mean, that's a worry. But I also – there's a lot of good coaches out there that are looking for coordinator positions and positions that have just been kind of pushed out the last couple of years. And so I don't think he'll have a hard time filling a staff. My personal opinion on all of this is I think it's crystal clear what it takes to win in this league now. And it's not just a quarterback, and I know we're going to get into this, but you look at those games yesterday, and it's finding a quarterback who has a skill set that you then commit to and build around all the way. Everything. Commit everything to. Jalen Hurts has been buried 10 times, but they keep finding ways to make that guy better. And he's elite at what he does well, and they're not asking him to do anything else. And same with Josh Allen, and you can say that about everybody, Lamar. And until you get somebody in here, a football guy that says that Trevor, 16, is my quarterback, flat out, period, and I got to do whatever I can to make his strength stronger, then it doesn't matter what name you put in there. And I think that is a franchise-wide commitment that they have to make. And if they're wrong on 16, then they're wrong, but it can't get any worse than what it is right now. You got to build around 16, and that's got to be your only job, Liam Coen. That is literally it, because that's the blueprint in the NFL right now.
All right, so let me ask you this question then. As a coach, you know, a lot of people think, well, he's a head coach and he calls the plays. It's so much more. He doesn't just get a bunch of plays and just say, here, choose these. He's in on offensive meetings. He's developing offensive game plans. So he's knee deep into the offense.
Yep.
He's also got to be head coach. So how difficult is that?
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know why it's so difficult. I don't think it's as difficult at the NFL level as it is the college level. Game day. You got to remember, on game days in college, you'll go to a college game, there's 120 cats dressed out.
Right.
It's chaos on those sidelines.
Yeah.
NFL, man, they got all the room they need. Like, I mean, it seems like it's a, defenses are out there a little bit longer. It's not as fast paced of a game. I think it can be done. I think you obviously have to be organized. You have to have the right general manager in place.
Right.
And that's the big one right now, is who is going to be in charge of evaluating this roster currently and this draft and next year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's Liam Coen. I don't think you're not going to give him that kind of power. But that to me is the bigger one than the head coach right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to – I just want to see how it all ultimately finishes out and how soon they can have that side of the building accounted for. Who is it going to be? What eyes are going to be on these players? We're already talking about Senior Bowl practices and what's going to go on there, filling out a staff. The defensive side of the football. Robert Saleh was the guy that you were thinking about, but he goes back to Frisco. And so these are important hires, okay? We know that this guy's got a good offensive mind, but all that other stuff, Denny, it's all got to come together.
It does. There's one champion a year, man. It's hard. It's hard. But I don't know about you guys, but seriously, watching these playoffs, it just kind of dawned on me that I don't know. I mean, I'm in the quarterback business. I focus so much on those individual guys that I think that they can do anything. But, man, the way all these teams are built around these quarterbacks isn't the same way it's built here.
So just spend a hot second. You just mentioned the four. Let's just at least hit this right now. Jalen Hurts, like you said, they did everything. They figured it all out. I've been second-guessing him too. But you already hit on him, hit on the other guys. Jaden Daniels, now you got to find more complementary pieces for him.
Jaden Daniels showed you what he is. Now you can build around him. I mean, to his credit, he came in and was like, hey, whatever you got, I'll make better. Kind of like C.J. Stroud did. As well. So I think that Trevor's got that, but then there's, that next step. Do they have the talent to put enough pieces around Jaden that he can compete with number 15 in Kansas City? And that's what everybody's trying to do. You're not going to get a Pat Mahomes, but you can try to put enough pieces around your not Pat Mahomes to at least compete with them. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, but do you remember, Matt? We came out of 2022 going, this guy's ready to compete with that guy.
Agree. And they didn't put the pieces around him.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have. They didn't do anything since 22.
Right, and we keep saying the pieces around him. The offensive line has been the same for 3 years.
It's the offensive line. It's the coordinator, right? Can the coordinator coordinate what your quarterback is good at? That's that. I don't care how good of a football mind he is. Can he take what you have at quarterback and can he coordinate the offense around him? I mean, that seems to be again, you
I agree. I mean, that's critical. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the number one thing is the offensive line.
No question.
Number one.
No question.
And they've punted on it for 3 straight years now.
Yeah.
Literally punted on offensive line, other than drafting Anton Harrison.
Yeah. Because they had to.
Because they had to, yeah. Only because Cam screwed up and got suspended.
Yeah.
That's the only reason they drafted a tackle.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to be very interested to see who they hired the offensive line coach, because I went back and saw, the success they had with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know this, but I don't know if he had anything to do with it because he's on there 1 year as far as the coordinator go. But that offensive line with the Tampa Bay, they're young and they're hungry and they get after it. So he looks at this offensive line, is relatively old, especially interiorly. You get tackles are pretty young. I would be very interested to see who he brings in and what kind of changes they make as far as the offensive lines go interiorly.
And I think he's also got an advantage too, and even that offensive line coach, because they're getting, what is this, 5th year for Trevor?
Yeah.
They're getting 5th year Trevor, not 2nd year Trevor.
They've wasted 4 years.
But that's okay.
Of him, man.
Listen, that's okay. As long as you capitalize on it now, he's getting into his peak. He can set protections better. He's seen a lot more now. You just got to have, to y'all's point, the right guys, the right 5 guys, and the right general scheme, right? And then I think 16's seen enough that he can take that over, and I think you got to give him that ability to do it. I hope he can. If he can't, they're paying him too much money.
Yeah, it's true. And so it's a lot of it's not everything is on him this go around, but the responsibility with 16 ramps up because they say, hey, we recognize all this other stuff that was not right. We're going to fix that. Now you got to be part of this process, fixing yourself.
You have to be so good at X's and O's that you overcome mentally what you don't have physically because you just took so much money, right? Like I can't go spend $30 million on that tackle because I just gave you $250. But I can go spend 15, and we expect you to be good enough to set these protections and put us in the right plays where it still works.
So let's make the point real quick, and then we'll take another break and get ready for Liam Coen at 3:30. The 3 of the 4 quarterbacks have big contracts that just won, so it can happen. It is XL Primetime, Okama Beer Company Monday. We will keep it going with the Quarterback Whisperer.
You know Dan Hicken.
I got special talents. I'll show you. Look out.
And you know Jeff Prosser.
I've had it. I can't listen to one more self-righteous chestnut out of your mouth.
Mornings on The Drill.
So beggars can't be choosers.
On 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Start your new year off healthy. Get screened at Ackerman Urology for common cancers of the prostate, bladder, and kidney. Early detection is key with 5 locations across Northeast Florida. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, I'm Matt McDonald, founder and executive director of Next 18. Thanks to the Players Championship, we're using golf to support mental wellness for veterans and first responders. It's 43 days until the Players.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators!
Instead of wasting money on resolutions you won't keep, why not invest in something that lasts? Like fixing that dripping faucet, clearing that clogged drain, or finally tuning up your AC. Call Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. We'll help you keep your home in shape this year. It's the one resolution you won't regret breaking. Call 904-862-6769 to schedule service today. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
Ammon, you're always talking about how clean air is healthy air. I've had this cold for weeks. Can cleaning my air ducts actually help?
Well, Dad, I'm not a doctor, and let's be honest, you probably caught that cold from one of your grandkids. But I can tell you this, the cleaner your air, the better you'll feel.
Makes sense, but what do air ducts have to do with it?
Your ducts are like the lungs of your home. If they're full of dust, allergens, and who knows what else, all that junk gets blown into the air you breathe, especially now that the heat's running. And the EPA says improving indoor air quality can reduce health risk.
So you're telling me my vents are working harder than my immune system?
Exactly. That's why Zero Res is here. We're NADCA certified, and our truck mount system is the most powerful in the industry. Right now, we're even offering $100 off your total for January.
All right, sign me up. If it makes me feel better and keeps your mom off my back, I'm all in.
Good call, Dad.
Zero Res.
Spelled border backwards.
It's the right way to clean.
CER.
crashes happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hey gang, Prosser here. If you think you have problems related to the need to sell your home, we have solutions. And by we, I don't mean me. I mean ChadandSandy.com. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com. Call them today at 904-414-6200. Look, the problems could fall into a variety of areas. Maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Maybe you need more space with a growing family. Doesn't matter what the problems are. You go to Chad and Sandy. Those problems are fixed. With all the recent talk about interest rates and economic uncertainty, you may be wondering if now is the right time to sell your home. Will you get the price you need? What about repairs or showings? The good news, you don't have to figure it out by yourself. You call my agents, Chad and Sandy Newman. They will deliver. Your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required cost of repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. The success stories are rolling in from all over town. Find out for yourself. Call Chad and Sandy today. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Legendary Jaguars running back Fred Taylor joined the drill this morning to talk to Dan and Jeff about Liam Coen's offensive success he's had incorporating the running game. Listen to Fred Taylor, one of the NFL's best running backs, break down his perception of how Liam Coen can help fix the Jaguars' running game.
But sometimes there are offensive minds that are better in the running game, and by all accounts, it seems like that's what Liam Coen is going to come in really as his biggest calling card. The Bucs' run offense was last in the league 2 years ago. They were all the way up to fourth in his first year there. And
if you can pass the ball efficiently and consistently, it's going to help the run game. You put emphasis on the run game, obviously, blocking scheme, when to run it, all that different stuff. Those numbers are going to improve as well.
It's 69 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time in 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Mocama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
Fernandina Beach, Wildlight, and then on the shelves at Total or ABC. Definitely check out Mocama. You can log on mocama.com and enjoy some delicious craft. And I tell you, I was looking at some of the numbers as far as what Liam Coen was able to do down in Tampa Town, reviving the run game for that offense. Baker Mayfield, you can call him a Renaissance man. Well, it all happened under Liam Coen's watch. We got the quarterback whisper for one more seg as we're getting ready for that live presser that will air on our airwaves, 1010XL on 92.5 FM at 3:30, but not on the stream. So you guys be ready for that. You can go to Jaguars.com and you can get it there. But Denny and Maddie and Leon, listen to Liam Coen. This is his sit down middle of the season last year with Peter Schrager with his podcast. And basically just talking about his ideas, what he likes to do offensively. Hit it, JJ.
Physical, tough, and explosive. I think that, first and foremost, we want to start with running the football and being diverse within our schemes and the way that we attack defensive structures. But it all starts with the guys up front. It's a violent game, and you have to be able to do it at a physical, in a physical way. And then also being explosive, and that's both in the run and the pass. So being able to push the ball down the field while also being able to run the football effectively and also explosively. So it's all about players. That's all I've ever known. In times of crisis, think players, not plays.
What happened to hip hop, Leon?
I do love it.
I was going to say, JJ,
that was his playlist.
Music better underneath that.
Hey, where was that interview?
That was from the podcast.
Yeah,
so it was like a video podcast with crappy hip hop playing in the background.
I was waiting for Leon to name the lyrics, start singing the lyrics.
Nah, I don't listen to that.
How is that relevant to any? Like,
it was like a video podcast, so they're also showing like clips while
so
it's
they're
happening.
trying to show,
but on the radio, it's
trying to make it cool. But we go back to the last couple of things he said, Denny. When it comes down to, what you need more, not players. And honestly, that is it. And then what happens up front for anybody to have a successful offense.
Yeah, what I heard him say was, we're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
And we're going to throw the ball down the field, which, Leon, we can interpret to say, we got to have an offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't do either of those.
Mm-hmm. True. Basically, yeah. If you run the ball effectively, and then you need the protection so you can throw the ball down.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not happening with the current 5, just FYI.
Well, then you make changes.
You have to.
If
that's your game plan. Because I've said this multiple times. I thought last year their game plan would be much different than what it was. Even 2 years ago. When they started bringing in the receivers and the personnel packages that they brought, I thought, okay, they're just going to throw the ball 50 times a game, right, and get the ball out of their hands.
And that's the type of lineman they signed as well.
And then they just didn't do it. But when you come out and you say, we're going to be aggressive and physical and we're going to run the ball and we're going to take shots downfield, then you better have at least 3 dudes up front that can play anywhere in order to do that. And then the other 2 better be pretty dang good.
Well, we mentioned it earlier. Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, each of those guys played center for 30 minutes for the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. Cam Jurgens, they were going to scratch. They were going to basically make him inactive. And he's like, hang on, man. I'm doing everything I can. I'm going to give you something. They let Landon start. Then Landon got hurt, and they come out of the locker room, and they put Cam back in. So 2 cats played 30 minutes of football, and both of them physical as all get out.
And they put half a hunch up?
Yeah. And so here's the number.
2 guys who honestly had problems walking after like series. They go to the bench and they had problems walking. And they were light years better than the middle 3 of this franchise.
Well, those shots are crazy that they give.
Yeah, they are. And Leon knows that.
Bro, I mean, like Dickerson literally couldn't walk.
Yeah. But
and
it's
I
so
bet
funny.
he can't today either.
Right, yeah.
But it was so funny. Every single series, he couldn't walk, and then he just, you will it. You get it out of your body, don't you?
Yeah. Because you figure this. You can rest. You can sleep in the off season. You can rest.
Yeah.
You got an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, man. You just lay it all out.
So here are the numbers, Denny. Less than 89 yards rushing from the Bucs a year ago. In 2023, they averaged 88.8. That went to top 5, 149.2.
Wow.
So they're the only team in the NFL that was top 5 in passing and top 5 in rushing. And so scheme-wise, we know that they have Mike Evans. Ever heard of him? We know they got him. Baker thrived in this offense. Chris Godwin was up and down. He wasn't completely healthy. They got Jalen McMillan, a youngster, to come in there and make plays for them. And then Cade Otton and some of the other guys. But Bucky Irvin took over as a late-round draft pick, passed Rachaad White as the number 1 runner. Anyway, those are good numbers.
Yeah, part of having that number to run the ball that effectively is being in games that you can actually run the ball in the second half.
Very true.
Right? You're competitive and your defense is holding their own. And that the old saying about the ultimate team sport is so true. All these statistics align some way and they correlate in ways that you don't think about. But that's a huge jump. I mean, you're talking about a massive jump. And I don't know. I mean, you watch Tampa play, and I didn't watch much, but since they've hired, I've turned on a little bit. They just look like they know what they're doing. And you don't know, is that Baker? Is that Lim? Is it a combination? And you hope this is a combination. You hope that whatever he was meeting with Baker during the week that helped Baker so much, he's now going to do with Trevor, and he's going to take the next step. I say that saying that Doug Peterson's a pretty good quarterback coach. Right? So it's like
it's a mystery.
Yeah. It's going to be a wait and see.
There's a lot of those Bucs receivers are running wide open.
They are.
And the receivers here, not running wide open.
Yeah. He's got to figure it out. I just say the Doug Peterson thing because I just personally believe that the problem is deeper than the head coach.
Right.
And so he's going to have to figure that out.
At least expand on that real quick because it's a mystery to a lot of people. How did, quote, generational one not vibe with Super Bowl winning offensive mind? How did it not all come together, especially after the end of 22?
I think there's so many different ways you can go with that. I'll say it this way. I've thought about this. I think right now Jacksonville is that place that as a player, if you're a free agent, you can get a little bit more money to come to, and the expectations aren't that crazy. So I don't know. If you're not winning, I mean, you get stuck in that, right? You get stuck in I got this much money to go to Jacksonville, and they're not blowing up my phone and showing up at my house, and there's not media waiting for me in my car.
Yeah,
like it becomes almost like a little mini vacation in some sort.
It's wild when you say it like that, and we've talked about this before. There might be some evidence of that. Like Eric Armstead might be a good example of that.
Oh, he's absolutely an example of that. I mean, he's been on the milk carton all season long. You know, I mean, you're talking about a guy who came here a year ago and dismantled our offensive line, and now you hardly get a sniff from him.
Mm-hmm. He blamed that on Balky, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
I mean, you got to – we say this, you got to change the culture, but forget that. You just got to win.
Yeah.
Because if you win, that stops. If you win, now everybody wants to be here. They're taking less money to be here. It's a great town when you win, but you just got to win.
Also, here's another thing, too, and this is what I don't understand. This goes back to your point with the quarterback and the coach, why they didn't jibe. If you're a coach, at the end of the day, you're going to lose to the quarterback because they invest money in the quarterback.
Yeah.
So you can't say, I want to do this and he can't do this. No. Your job is to find out what he can do.
Right.
What can he do, and then make him the best at that.
Okay, but the other part of this is Peterson's personality was not one to push, not one to put the thumb on a guy and go, you know what? I need more.
Well, we don't know that. All we know is what we hear publicly. We have no idea.
At least we didn't see the evidence of that. Okay. Now is
but
Liam,
but if you have your offense and you believe, I believe in my offense, you know, one of those things, and you just push and push and push and push, and he's not a fit for it, and you still think this is how we're going to win, deal with it. You can't do that.
Yeah.
As a coach, you will lose every single time.
And that's what I was saying when we first got started. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is a great player. He's going to be in this league as long as he wants to be in this league. You've just got to find how you can take this great player and make him really, really, really great.
Right. What works for him?
Exactly. Don't make him do anything. You should never be against your quarterback. Ever. You're both going for the same thing.
Yeah.
Never butting heads with your quarterback.
Never. But like you said, it was supposed to go downfield.
Right.
That's what it looked like.
I mean, I know everybody on the text line gets upset when we talk about this, but this is Trevor's team.
Yeah.
So the coach has to deal with him.
Yeah.
He's got to put him in position to let him have success.
I can't wait for Trevor to get everything he needs or wants and then see what happens.
Yeah.
Because
we'll find out.
Seems like
let's text on people say I told you so.
I'm just saying that
or he becomes an elite player.
I'm just saying there's a lot.
Right. It'd be
we
good.
already know that your quarterback sympathy.
It would be good to see good around him. This guy was good
He's
around.
Never gonna
okay, think about what was good around Brew. Okay, what was good around Brew? Pro Bowl left, Pro Bowl right. Okay.
Right.
What was good around Brew? Jimmy, Keenan. What was good around Brew? Freddie, all that stuff. All right.
The defense.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to have it.
When he becomes a lead, you're going to say, you were right. You were right on.
I will admit if it ever happens.
All right, Denny.
All right,
we'll
boys.
turn you loose, man. Thank you as always. Denny_Thompson. You can find him on X. And, of course, our quarterback whisperer about 30 minutes away from the Liam Coen press conference.
Ride home with a Franchi show.
I'm a driver, and I'm a flyer. I waited a long time for a shot like this.
Put some wings on your wheels. Afternoons on 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Frank Frangie, and I've depended on South State for my banking needs as long as they've been serving Duval. Whether you're saving for retirement, purchasing a home, starting a business, your goals are their commitment. With forward-thinking, personalized banking solutions and best-in-class service, South State is ready to help you navigate your financial journey. Connect at southstatebank.com or drop by any of the 5 local South State offices. South State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. New year, new you. How many times have you heard that? We all set goals when the new year begins, and more times than not, it revolves around the way we look. So if you're ready to get serious about being the best you, it's time to get serious about Awaken 180 weight loss. It's time to get serious about losing weight the right way and getting into the best shape of your life safely. No guesswork, no trial and error, no medication side effects. I'm proof I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost 115 in a year. And you can lose the weight too. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Reach your goals with Awaken 180 weight loss and become a new you. Trust me, it was simple. A word you never hear used with weight loss programs, unless, of course, you're referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear path to success with the solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is head coach Matthew Driscoll from the UNF men's basketball team. When our players suffer an orthopedic injury, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist gets our players back on the court pain-free.
We appreciate the endorsements from our high school and college coaches. This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The Electric Light Orchestra Experience featuring Evil Woman, the American ELO. A concert celebration featuring the music of Electric Light Orchestra. It's February 5th at Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets at fscjartistseries.org.
It's a winter wonderland of big wins at Best Bet Jacksonville with our Winter Open Poker Tournament taking place now through February 2nd. Don't miss the action. Join us for your share of the ice-cold cash. With 8 series events and $500,000 in guarantees, the action is on, with satellites taking place daily into the championship main event. Visit bestbetjacks.com for more details, and we'll see you at the Winter Open. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Imagine a place where the sun is always shining, the drinks are ice cold, and the food is bursting with flavor. Welcome to Hurricane Grill and Wings, where locals and visitors alike gather to weather this storm we call life. And you can escape there anytime you like. Today's forecast, hot, crispy wings with a 100% chance of frothy beers. Later, we're predicting big burgers and seafood tacos moving in. Even better with a Pepsi. HurricaneWings.com.
Start the new year with a fresh look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% off on our energy-efficient windows and patio doors designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and your energy bills down. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation. But hurry, the special New Year's offer won't last. License number CGC 1527613.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Walls. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Hello, I'm attorney Malcolm Anthony. Being charged with domestic violence can turn your life upside down. If you're in trouble, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
Yo, E.T. here, and don't let Valentine's Day sneak up on you. Plan the perfect romantic getaway in Clay County. Stay at one of Clay's beautiful Airbnbs or in luxury at Club Continental, a boutique riverfront retreat, and treat your special someone to an unforgettable dinner at the Hilltop Restaurant. Trust me on this one. Clay County is the perfect spot for romance. Start planning today at exploreclay.com and tag those romantic moments with hashtag ExploreClay.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. Terminix stops termites in my home fast. These destructive pests may have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so does Terminix. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem. I certainly wasn't going to. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. Terminix.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room at Fernandina Beach.
Having a good time on a Monday. Hope you are as well. It is, get down to business time for your Jacksonville Jaguars, and we will, right here on XL Primetime, be airing the Liam Coen presser. And it'll be about 20 minutes from now, and his first words as the Jacksonville Jaguar head coach. So just remember, anybody that's on the app, that's on the stream, any of that, we are not allowed to carry it.
YouTube.
YouTube. We will not be able to carry it. So anything digitally, I guess is the best way to say it, in streaming, make sure you go to Jaguars.com, and they're good enough to let us carry it over the terrestrial airwaves. So that way, a lot of Duval that's out there riding around, all of our truck drivers that we love so much, 92.5 FM, 1010 AM, we will be able to carry it on the terrestrial radio. All right, so when we look forward to this, Leon, the type of personality, we're going to find out a little bit more about him, philosophy, what he wants to do. But what are 2 or 3 things that you think he needs to come out of the gate as a head coach, first time now, as a head coach, and make sure that he puts his type of stamp on this team?
Well, I mean, first of all, I was online. I was on the Jaguar network, and he was walking towards his office. He looked like a kid that just saw a brand new bike. You know, he was smiling, he was cheesing. So I mean, he is
only 39.
He is 39 years old, so he seems happy to be here. So I mean, listen, the most important meeting is going to be the team meeting, because the team meeting, you'll have all the guys come in through the offseason, and he's basically going to tell you, you know. Because they got to buy in. Whatever he said on that podcast, JJ, that you played last time, that needs to be said. You know, we're going to win up front. We're going to be tough. We're going to be physical. It starts with the offensive and defensive line, and then we're going to play off of that, and we're going to go deep. I mean, you've got to be able to buy in, but toughness is the most important thing. That this team is going to be tough. We're going to be physical on both sides of the ball, but we're going to take our shots. I mean, because they have to buy into that. And then once you say that in the team meeting, then you have to assess, you know, how the team trains from there, from the workouts, the OTAs, the training camp, minicamp, and all that kind of stuff. But I think the buy-in is first and foremost, and that's going to be said at the team meeting once everybody gets back.
All right, so let me just say this. They spent all of last offseason saying they got to be tougher, they got to be stronger. We're going to set the tone on the offensive line. We're going to do things differently in the line of scrimmage. This is what I want to hear from Liam Coen. And we saw what happened with that, by the way. I want to hear Liam Coen say, it all starts up front. We're going to draft that way. We're going to select free agents that way. It begins up front, and then you work out from the inside out. That's how we're going to build this program. Because I want to hear him make a commitment. We are going to draft that way, and we're going to look for free agents that way.
Yeah, and it is an opportunity for him to basically...
That's how you put your stamp on it.
Well, yeah, it's his opportunity to basically make sure the type of team that I envision, that I want to coach, is going to look like X.
Well, also what I want them to do as well, and I appreciate what Matt said as far as I want them, the guys that are currently here, make them uncomfortable. Hey, listen, if you're not getting the job done, whether you're going to find your replacement in free agency or we're going to draft someone to replace you. Yeah. I mean, you got to say it because I love it. Because listen, with this season,
Stick a little fire on you.
Yeah, with this season, this outcome, nobody's job is really safe.
No, it's not.
Make them feel uncomfortable.
And what Denny said, it should drive a lot of Duval crazy when you hear, wait a minute, I'm going to get more and they're going to expect less. That's no way to run a franchise or have a franchise be looked at by potential free agents that are coming in here. Hey, I'm going to get more cake, and there's not going to be as many people or expectations on me. This is a good thing. Can't have that.
No, because I tell this story all the time. When I came here in '96, and what TC told me, he asked me how I was playing, and I said, well, Coach, you know, we 3-7. I'm playing average. He said, well, Leon, we didn't pay you all that money to be average.
Yeah.
So I mean, that
cut you, didn't it?
It cut me to the white meat, but he was true. He was telling. Listen, one thing I always appreciate about TC, the true serum. He gave you a spoonful and another.
Yeah. And if you go back and you just think about what has been done, Wayne Weaver, in the time that he owned this football team, he hired 2 head coaches. Shad Khan, in the time that he's owned this football team, is basically the same amount of time, because we're talking. They just finished up their 30th year. Jack Del Rio and Tom Coughlin took up a decade and a half, and then the next 6 hires have taken up a decade and a half. So you've got to get it right. Yes, this will be his 6th. And if you think about it,
I'm sure the guys who failed here went on to do bigger and better things, though, right?
Well, sure.
That's kind of the whole. Although,
like Doug Marrone didn't just get hired as an O-line coach with the Pats, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Although Shawnee just
went in reverse.
Cowboys job.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, that is true.
Yeah. But if you think about it, both of them hired an unproven in the NFL head coach. Wayne hired Tom. Tom had just picked off Notre Dame as the number 1 team in the land, hired him. He came in. Shad went and got hurt. Okay, so both of them were successful college coaches who had never coached in the NFL. Then you go to Jack Del Rio. He was the antithesis of Tom, and he had never coached. He had only been a defensive coordinator for a short amount of time, and that was Wayne's departure from Tom. I'm going to go get young, innovative guy who's never coached before. Anyway, he lasts 8 seasons. And then if you take a look at Liam Coen, he's kind of that young offensive version of Jack Del Rio. And we will find out if that ultimately is to be the case, if he could be successful. Well, then after that, if you take a look at Mike Mularkey, a retread, we all know it didn't work. He's still in town, still a part of this community, but we all know it did not work. And then Gus Bradley had never been a head coach before. So Mularkey had been and then was not successful. They let him go. And then Gus Bradley had never done it before. And then they go from inside in the interim and Doug Marrone. Any number of ways they've tried to fix this bad boy. And it just has not been enough for any amount of time. And they need to, and I don't know what the exact formula is. We just know that there have been too many fails. And then when you take a look at the general manager position as well, Tom was a general manager. He came in with all that power, obviously had never done that before. Next general manager had never been a GM, but was a bigger front office position in Shaq Harris. Follow him with Gene Smith, who had never done it before. Follow him with Dave Caldwell, who had never done it before. Follow him with Trent Baalke, who had done it before and had a reputation. And
ran off a guy who went to 3 straight NFC championship games, including one on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, in Jim Harbaugh out in San Fran. And so you've got to get that part of it right as well. This is now another GM that has to come through for this football team. That's why when we're going off on the Saban the other day, you have got to find a guy that can get the job done, that will evaluate that talent. I'm looking again. We were just talking about him in the break. This is what Brad Holmes does. And we did not know who Brad Holmes was before he rose to that general manager role in Detroit and is doing great things. They went and drafted Christian Mahogany late in the draft. One of the guys that we brought up multiple times. And I text when he was still on the board and Trent Baalke did not pick him, text in the group, tweet, why not go for Christian Mahogany? Well, take a look at what he did last week. This is, of course, with the Detroit Lions, who did get eliminated, but they're a pretty dang good team. They had a pretty good offensive line coming into this year, did they not?
Yeah.
They went out and drafted Christian Mahogany in the 6th round, and he comes into the postseason, just his second career start. Offensive grade from PFF, 92.2 against the Commanders, the highest game grade for any interior offensive line rookie in the playoffs since 2006. So that's what they did. They already had good players, and they went and drafted another one so they could have him in the pipeline.
And developed him.
Yeah. And now he didn't start all year, but they still put him in a position to when he needed to do it, he was there to do it.
That's another thing, too. Not only did they not do anything within the personnel of the offensive line, they kept the same flipping offensive line coach.
Mm-hmm.
There's just it's just doubling down on dumb. Like, you cannot double down on dumb anymore.
Yeah.
This new guy,
right,
Liam Coen, has to say, this is the way we're doing it. And guess what? If it doesn't work after 1 year, change it.
Yeah. I can't argue with it. I don't look at it and say that stick with because you might be able to turn a corner. No, I'm with you. I don't like the idea of constantly clearing house and firing left and right and all that kind of stuff. But it is a bottom line business, and you do have to get the job done. And if you are not, and that team went from, what would you say, Leon, above average or slightly above average towards the end of 2022. And you thought,
offensive line?
Yeah,
they were middle of the board.
And you thought Phil Rauscher had at the very least done a better job than George Warhop. So you said, okay, you give him that next year, and then we all know it fell off after that.
Yeah, so 2022, especially during the back end of 2022.
Yeah. They were middle of the board, right?
Yeah, middle of the board.
But then 23 and 24.
Bad. They were.
Yeah. And so 23, you could have put them on notice. And I like I said, I don't know what the right answer is, whether you just run them right out of there. But they did run pretty much the entire defensive staff out of there.
Well, here's another thing, too. If you're at the point where your backups are liabilities, that's your fault, too.
Yeah.
The offensive line coach's job is to make sure if you get an injury, guy's coming in, he's certainly not going to be as good as a starter, but he's not going to be a liability.
Right. And they did not have enough good players behind the other players.
They had none.
Right. You telling me Cole Van Lannon was not a good option? Is that what you're telling me? All right. I want them to be able to run the football again.
Am I wrong? They had none.
Yeah. Van Lanen
was all right.
He was all right on the bad team. Yeah.
Coop, Hance. No.
Yeah. No. There's nothing for me.
No.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get ready for the presser. Liam Coen will be coming up in less than 10 minutes. Don't forget AM, FM. You'll be able to hear it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. The rest will happen on a stream, so make sure you will not be able to get it on YouTube or any of the other streaming services. Just make sure you have Jaguars.com if you're going to go that route.
Living life on the edge of your seat.
Are you kidding me?
Your front row seat for play-by-play.
Break it free, they're not going to catch you.
1010XL.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione. Campione Law.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. The big game is here, and it's now or never. Time to play and win with PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your dough roll in. Think Pat Mahomes will throw for more than 1.5 touchdown passes? Or Saquon Barkley will rush for more than 1.5 touchdowns? It's that simple. And now, PrizePicks is giving you a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. That's right, 1,000 times just for playing. If you know the game, you run the game. PrizePicks just keeps making it easier to play and win, including the flex play, where you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. That's right, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit and cash out as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. PrizePicks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the PrizePicks app today, use promo code JAX, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at PrizePicks. Run your game.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists, and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
Yo, E.T. here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar, Twin Peaks. Scratch kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge. Come on, somebody.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppable, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 27, 1969, 37-year-old Chuck Noll becomes the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, where at the time he was the youngest head coach in the NFL, leading the Steelers to 4 Super Bowl victories.
Mia here. It's the Everything's on Sale going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Get 0 down and just $288 per month for a pre-owned 2022 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for 0 down and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till July 2025? And you get 60 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Shop the Everything's on Sale at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard at arlingtontoyota.com.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
Tailgate special alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Denny Thompson here. Tyson Sound & Security has a huge prize sweepstakes now through the big game. I'm talking a 75-inch loaded Samsung TV with 3D surround sound, a sound bar with wireless subwoofer, and installation is included. Stop by the new showroom, check out the setup, and drop your name in the box for your chance to win the $2,500 prize now through February 9th. Tyson Sound & Security now at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming, Iowa.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjax.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, my takeaway is that O-lines do matter. All right, I enjoyed that Philadelphia Eagles game. I mean, with the pass happy offense that has dominated professional football the last 5 years, it was good to see the Philadelphia Eagles rely on the run game and the offense line to get it. 7 rushing touchdowns. I loved it, every minute of it. I did.
All right, my takeaway is, I'm kind of a wait and see with Liam Coen, but I will be very happy if he steps up there and says, we are drafting and choosing our personnel. We are procuring our personnel with the mindset of it starts inside out. We are going at the lines of scrimmage and then moving out. I will be very happy if I hear that. Very, very happy, because those are 2 gigantic weaknesses on this team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm just going to take this from one of our texters, and thanks to the 607 for texting it in, because off of what Leon just said, 7 touchdowns from the Philadelphia Eagles on the ground. He texted in, fun fact, in 2 playoff games, Saquon has 7 rushing touchdowns. In 17 games this year, Dallas had 6. So if you can run the football, and it is not everything to every team in the NFL these days. We know that. But if you can, that's what balance is all about, is the ability to do something that they aren't 100% anticipating or ready for. Why do you have to have balance on a football team? Because the good ones on defense are going to take whatever you do best away from you and force you to go to your second. And so if this team can run the football, actually do it with effectiveness, then that changes the game. It really does. And we'll find out whether or not it can happen. A real quick if you don't mind, JJ, before Liam Coen comes up.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, there's some news from a former teammate of mine, Brent Boyer. You're talking about somebody, a special teams demon. You talk about guys that you draft to come out and have an impact in games. This guy was one of them, my teammate. San Francisco 49ers have officially named Brent Boyer as the special teams coordinator.
Yeah, I love that. I do love that. Brent Boyer is definitely one of the
He's made a nice career, that boy.
He's a kick butt coach.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that is
such a good dude, man.
Yeah, so many good memories of him here, and then what he's been able to do as a coach since then has been outstanding. And so he's special teams coordinator there. The guy here did a pretty dang good job. By the way, this is the special teams capital of the football world, if anyone's wondering. All right? This is, ladies and gentlemen, the special teams capital of the football world. All right, we're getting ready for Liam Coen. Just a reminder, whenever we go, if you're watching on YouTube, we cannot air the presser on YouTube. So you're going to have to go to Jaguars.com. Same thing with the apps. Any of those, if you're streaming, we just can't do it. Jaguars.com is nice enough to let us air it, but you're going to easily go there and be able to hear the presser with Liam Coen. But we will have it on 1010XL AM on 92.5 FM. And then, JJ, the Frangie Show is down there after.
The Frangie Show is on location as well. I know we all sort of assume, but we haven't said anything to the listener yet who might not know. But Shad's also supposed to speak.
Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. And look, Chad will tell you that was his guy, that he wanted him. It might have been a one-horse race, but he got him. And
got it right.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. But trying to put this staff together, and I'll just mention Heath Farwell, who did a killer job here. That would not be a bad guy to keep around. That's for sure. And look, I'm just believing that a guy like that has already put good credentials up here and is here. So if you are looking at a staff, and who knows who Liam Coen will be looking at a special teams coordinator point of view, but keeping a guy like that and basically keeping the Logan Cooks and the young Cam Little happy, that would be a good move. That would be a good move. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all.
I don't know. There's some funk.
Yeah, see,
there's some funk.
You want to get rid of the funk?
Look at Leon laughing. He agrees. There's some funk, man. I don't know that
I'm not putting that on.
I mean, you got to at least interview the guy. That was the one bright light we had.
Exactly. Special teams capital of the world.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, exactly.
The best way to get rid of the funk is to get rid of all of it.
That's true. That's true.
All I know is that they did sweep out the most important part, and that was in the front office, and they made sure that part was cleared out. So we'll see where they go.
Are we concerned that he's 2 minutes late?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking the same thing.
Fashionably late.
A little bit, because with one guy that used to be the head coach here, if you're 5 minutes early, you're late. So.
Yeah, exactly. And with everything that did go on as far as the interview process, there were people looking for him. Okay?
Is he here?
Yeah. So I'd just like to see him walk through the door and sit down in some Jag gear, which what you're hoping for is a guy that can win the room, win the presser. Usually there aren't too many of them that don't win the presser. And then after that, start to see a staff that comes together. And if a Patrick Graham or somebody like that is still out there, Matt, you were putting up some good thoughts about him the other day, and he can come to the defensive side and put some, I would think, some good game plans together, some good scheme together on that side of the ball. If it's him, if it's somebody that's coming up from the staff, the last go around when Doug Peterson originally put his staff together, he went and got Mike Caldwell from Tampa, who was under Todd Bowles. And we all know that did not work out. And so we'll find out whether it's one that has experience as a defensive coordinator or whether it'll be somebody else that he's worked with.
By the way, Heath Farwell is back. He will be back on this staff.
Oh, okay.
Just had someone text me.
Okay. All right.
He'll be back.
Authority. He speaks with authority right there. Yeah.
Now, are you looking forward to any questions about, all the drama?
Oh, yeah. Those will be directed at Shad, I would think. Well, actually, at both. You're right.
With Tampa,
why did you
ghost them or whatever?
Yeah.
I know Jags fans don't care about that, but I think that's juicy. I cannot wait to hear that kind of stuff.
You think that's going to be asked?
I hope. I mean, it was the story of the freaking hiring process.
Zero chance.
Part of the story. Yeah. It just,
hopefully there's a national reporter there that will ask that.
Yeah, like what ultimately led to that decision, what changed in your mind, what kind of communication did you have with them, all that type of stuff.
And I want to know about the bulky stuff.
Yes, the bulky stuff is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason you came back is it because the Jaguars fired Trent Baalke. How big of a role did that play in your decision to take another look?
Yeah, and he might have a choreographed response.
He might.
But still, that's fine. He probably said, look, I needed to feel good. I hope he said something like that. I needed to feel good about what I was doing and who I was going to be working with. All right. Let's take it down to the Mecca and the presser with Liam, Coen, and Shad Khan.
Good afternoon. We thank you for being here.
Letting us air the presser. First words from Liam Coen as your Jacksonville Jaguar head coach. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, they are down at the Mecca, so their show will be coming up. Thanks to the Mocama Beer Company, bringing you Monday's show on XL Primetime, and get ready for more Liam Coen coming up.